My CEO said, "Pretend to be my boyfriend or you're fired." I replied, "I really don't want to lose my job." The corporate station orbiting Vera Prime was buzzing with activity, but Alex barely noticed. Their mind was elsewhere, on the pile of unfinished projects, the pending deadlines, and the constant pressure to impress. Being a cybernetics specialist for one of the largest interstellar corporations was stressful enough, but today something felt different. A soft chime echoed through the office, breaking Alex's concentration. The holo display blinked, signaling a message from the top. One name flashed: Lyra Kessler, CEO of Kessler Dynamics. Alex's stomach sank. Lyra was notorious for her strict management style, sharp intelligence, and unpredictable decisions. Receiving a direct message from her could mean anything from praise to disaster. Alex hesitated, then activated the message. A video feed appeared. Lyra, immaculate in her tailored silver suit, sat with her legs crossed, the glow of the city lights from the station behind her. She smiled, but it was the kind of smile that suggested she was 3 steps ahead of anyone else. "Alex," she said, her voice smooth and confident, "I have a unique request." Alex leaned back, heart racing. "A request, ma'am." Lyra's eyes gleamed with a mixture of amusement and authority. "The Galactic Summit is in 3 days. Dignitaries from dozens of species will attend, and I need you to pretend to be my boyfriend for the duration of the event." Alex blinked. Their mouth went dry. "Excuse me." "I know it sounds unusual," Lyra said, her smile unwavering, "but the summit's social protocols are delicate. Some of these species respond better when human partnerships are visible, even if they are simulated." Alex's mind raced. Pretend to be her boyfriend for a week, with aliens watching every move. I don't even know how to do that," Alex admitted. Lyra's expression softened, but only slightly. "I'm not asking for perfection. I'm asking for participation. And Alex, if you refuse, I'm afraid your position here will be terminated." The words hit Alex like a blast from a plasma cannon. "Fired over a social experiment." I really don't want to lose my job," Alex murmured. Lyra nodded. "I thought you might say that, but remember, Alex, humans have a unique strength. Your creativity, improvisation, and adaptability, those qualities are invaluable. Use them." She paused, letting the weight of the ultimatum settle. "Decide quickly. The summit is less than 72 hours away." The video ended. Alex sat frozen, staring at the hollow screen. Fired or a week of pretending to date the CEO. Either choice was terrifying. Alex pushed back from the desk and rubbed their face. They needed air, clarity, some way to think straight. They walked through the station's observation deck. The planet below shimmered with violet oceans and streaks of silver clouds. Ships moved like glowing insects across the orbital lanes. The view should have been calming, but Alex couldn't focus. They remembered their friend and colleague Rena, who often reminded Alex, "Humans always find a way when it matters most." Could that really be true here? Pretending to be someone's partner for survival, it felt surreal, almost absurd. Back at the lab, Alex began running scenarios. How would they act? What gestures, words, and expressions would convince Lyra, and more importantly, alien dignitaries, that the relationship was genuine? They pulled up human behavioral protocols, but the more they read, the more overwhelmed they felt. Maybe I can do it," Alex whispered to themselves, half in disbelief. "If I think logically, if I observe carefully, I might pull it off." But observation alone wouldn't be enough. They needed practice, rehearsal, a plan, and they needed it fast. Alex activated the lab's AI assistant, Nova. Nova, initiate simulation, social interactions, partnership dynamics, summit protocols. Nova's holographic interface appeared, serene and precise. Simulation initiated. Estimated completion time, 8 hours per full run. Probability of success depends on adaptability and real-time improvisation. Alex nodded, heart pounding. 8 hours per run. 3 days until the summit. It was tight, but if anyone could manage this, Alex thought humans could. The first simulation began. Nova created an avatar of Lyra, complete with holographic gestures, voice patterns, and subtle behavioral cues. Alex hesitated as the avatar smiled. "Hello, Alex," the simulation said. "We have important appearances to manage. Shall we begin?" Alex took a deep breath. "Yes, let's start." The first exercise was awkward. Alex stumbled over greetings, misread facial cues, and mispronounced several interstellar titles. Nova paused the simulation and provided feedback. Human error detected, empathy mismatch, and unnatural eye contact. Adjust tone and gesture accordingly. Alex groaned. This was harder than they imagined, but with each attempt they improved slightly. By the third run, Alex could mimic Lyra's mannerisms well enough to fool the simulation. They even added subtle improvisations, a small laugh, a hand on the elbow gesture that felt natural. As the evening passed, Alex realized something important. This wasn't just about pretending. It was about understanding another human at a level they had never attempted before, about observation, intuition, and trust. And maybe, just maybe, they could do more than survive this challenge. They could excel. Lyra's message echoed in their mind. Humans have a unique strength. Alex smiled faintly. Maybe she was right. The next day was even busier. Meetings, lab work, and practice simulations left Alex exhausted. But amidst the chaos, they noticed small details about Lyra from the summit briefings. Her favorite colors, her tendency to glance at people before speaking, the way she subtly adjusted her tone when nervous. These were small things, but they could make the difference between appearing genuine or fake. By the afternoon, Alex had created a cheat sheet of gestures, phrases, and expressions tailored to Lyra. It wasn't perfect, but it was a start, and the summit loomed closer. That evening, Alex returned to the observation deck. The orbital city lights sparkled and distant ships glimmered like stars. They breathed deeply. Tomorrow, rehearsals would continue. But tonight, they allowed themselves a moment of hope. Humans could improvise, adapt, and create. If Alex could harness that maybe, just maybe, they wouldn't just survive this bizarre ultimatum. Maybe they could turn it into an opportunity. The camera of the observation deck captured Alex's reflection against the cityscape. A determined face stared back. "All right," Alex whispered. "Let's do this." Somewhere in the distance, Lyra's message replayed in their mind, and for the first time it didn't sound threatening. It sounded like a challenge, a test. And Alex was ready to rise to it. The next morning, Alex arrived early at the lab, the station still glowing with the soft lights of early orbital sunrise. The air felt heavy with anticipation, almost as if the station itself knew the challenge ahead. The galactic summit was approaching, and Alex's role in Lyra's partnership charade weighed heavily on them. Nova, the AI assistant, awaited on the holographic platform, already running simulations in preparation for the day. "Good morning, Alex. Shall we continue with the social interaction simulations?" Nova asked, its voice calm, neutral, almost comforting. Alex nodded, though their hands trembled slightly. "Yes, we need to be ready. Every gesture, every word, it has to feel real." Nova flickered, displaying holographic statistics. Probability of successful interaction in first real-world scenario, 47%, with iterative practice, 85%. "Not bad," Alex muttered. "Let's improve that." The first exercise involved basic interactions, greetings, small talk, and subtle emotional responses. Nova projected Lyra's avatar in full detail, her posture perfect, her voice exact. Alex had to match expressions, tone, and timing as if they were a live partner. At first it was awkward. Alex's voice stumbled, their gestures too stiff. Good morning, Lyra, good morning," Alex said, tripping over their own words. Nova paused the simulation. Human error detected, emotional authenticity insufficient. Observe microexpressions and adjust facial response. Alex sighed and ran a hand through their hair. Microexpressions got it. For the next few hours, Alex repeated the exercises. Each attempt grew smoother. They learned how to mirror Lyra's subtle nods, her slight lean forward when listening, the faint smile that softened her otherwise sharp expression. The simulations weren't just practice. They were training in observation, empathy, and improvisation. By the third iteration, Alex noticed an improvement. "I think I'm getting it," they said, matching the avatar's movements almost perfectly. "It's kind of like a dance. I just have to pay attention and respond naturally." Nova's hologram shimmered. Observation and improvisation are human strengths. Your success probability is now 62%. Alex grinned, a spark of confidence lighting their tired expression. "Better, much better." After a short break, Alex moved to more complex simulations. Nova introduced alien observers into the environment. These were holographic diplomats from distant star systems, each with unique behavioral patterns, customs, and communication styles. Alex had to interact naturally while maintaining the illusion of a human partnership. The first alien observer, a tall, crystalline being with reflective skin, studied Alex and Lyra's avatar silently. Its eyes glowed softly. Alex froze. What if it noticed something wrong? Nova prompted, "Maintain conversational engagement. Adapt tone and gestures to accommodate alien perception." Alex nodded. They took a deep breath and started again, carefully adjusting voice and posture. "It's nice to meet you. Lyra and we are honored to attend the summit." The alien tilted its head, its crystalline form shimmering. Alex mirrored Lyra's subtle nod, their heart racing. The simulation paused and Nova displayed results. Human adaptability successfully detected. Alien observer reports increased trust level. Probability of successful engagement, 70%. Alex exhaled, relief flooding them. One step closer to convincing the real dignitaries. But even with progress, doubts lingered. Alex knew that acting human was only part of the challenge. They had to understand Lyra herself. For the charade to work, they needed to anticipate her reactions, learn her quirks, and most importantly, make it believable that they genuinely cared. During a short lunch break, Alex reviewed notes from previous summit briefings. They studied Lyra's preferences, from favorite colors to the way she gestured when emphasizing a point. Each detail could be the difference between success and failure. Rena, their friend and fellow engineer, floated into the lab. "Alex, you look like you've been through a dozen simulations already." "I have," Alex replied, rubbing their eyes. "Nova is relentless. I don't want to mess this up." Rena smiled encouragingly. "You won't. Humans are amazing at improvising. Remember, Lyra chose you for a reason. She trusts your intelligence. Use that." Alex nodded, grateful for the reminder. Humans did have a unique strength, the ability to adapt and think creatively in situations no algorithm could fully predict. Maybe that was their real advantage. The afternoon brought another challenge. Nova introduced a scenario with unexpected complications. Lyra's avatar accidentally dropped an important summit report in front of alien diplomats. Alex had to respond convincingly, preventing embarrassment and maintaining the illusion of a perfect partnership. Panic rose in Alex's chest. Their hands shook slightly and they almost froze. Then they remembered Rena's words. "Adapt. Improvise." Quickly, Alex bent down, picked up the report, and handed it to Lyra's avatar with a calm smile. "Here, I've got it. Don't worry, we're fine." Lyra's hologram nodded approvingly, a faint smile appearing. The alien observers didn't flinch. Nova displayed results. Crisis averted. Human improvisation successfully neutralized social risk. Probability of partnership credibility, 77%. Alex felt a surge of pride. They were getting the hang of it. Even so, the training was exhausting. After another round of simulations, Alex slumped in the chair, staring at the floor. Their body ached and their mind buzzed with analysis. But beneath the fatigue, a small spark of determination glimmered. They had survived the first day of preparation. And tomorrow, the simulations would get even harder. That evening, Alex decided to take a walk outside the lab. The observation deck overlooked the orbital city, its lights twinkling against the dark expanse of space. Ships moved through the lanes like silent dancers, their paths precise yet elegant. The view always calmed Alex, and tonight it reminded them of why they had started working here in the first place, to push boundaries, to explore, to prove human ingenuity. Alex leaned on the railing, thinking about Lyra. She was challenging, exacting, and unpredictable. Pretending to be her partner wasn't just about gestures or words, it was about understanding her mind. And somehow, Alex felt the spark of curiosity. They wanted to see if they could truly succeed. Back in the lab, they resumed practice, this time focusing on small, subtle gestures, mirroring Lyra's hand movements, maintaining eye contact in natural ways, and using micro-smiles to signal attentiveness. Nova's algorithms analyzed each move and provided feedback, but Alex found themselves relying more on intuition than the AI's instructions. Observation and subtle mimicry are your strengths, Nova noted. Human intuition enhances credibility by 13% over automated simulation. Alex smiled faintly. Thanks, Nova. I think I'm starting to understand. The night passed in a blur of practice, note-taking, and strategy planning. Alex learned to anticipate Lyra's reactions, to respond to unplanned social cues, and to maintain calm under scrutiny. Each small victory built confidence, but the looming summit reminded them that even one mistake could have consequences. As Alex prepared to rest, a final notification appeared on the hollow screen, a message from Lyra herself. The words were simple, yet they carried weight. "Impress me, Alex. I'm watching your progress." Alex stared at the message, a mixture of nerves and determination swelling inside. They realized something important. This wasn't just a test of acting skills. It was a test of human adaptability, courage, and intelligence, and they were ready to rise to the challenge. The Galactic Summit was only days away, and Alex knew that when the real test began, it would demand everything they had learned, and more. Somewhere deep in the station, Lyra's reflection seemed almost alive in the glass walls. And Alex, standing before it, whispered to themselves, "We'll do this. I can do this. Humans, we always find a way." The morning of the Galactic Summit dawned with a bright, metallic glow across the orbital city. Ships of every imaginable design streamed into the docking bays, carrying diplomats, traders, and representatives from dozens of star systems. The station buzzed with energy, a mixture of excitement, anticipation, and subtle tension. Alex stepped onto the main concourse, heart pounding. The culmination of 3 days of training was here. The simulations, the rehearsals, the practice runs, they all led to this moment. Their palms were sweaty, but they forced themselves to stand tall. Today, they had to convincingly play Lyra's partner. Lyra was already waiting near the entrance of the summit hall, impeccably dressed in a silver suit with subtle violet accents that reflected her personal style. Her eyes scanned the crowd, sharp and assessing. When they landed on Alex, she smiled, but it was a guarded smile, the kind that implied both challenge and trust. "Alex," she said quietly as they walked side by side, "remember what we practiced. Observe, adapt, and respond naturally. Confidence is key." "I've got it," Alex replied, though their voice betrayed a hint of nervousness. "We can do this." The summit hall was massive, with towering ceilings, holographic displays, and floating platforms that allowed dignitaries to move effortlessly between areas. Alien delegates were already gathered, their forms as varied as their home worlds, some humanoid, some crystalline, others entirely unfamiliar to Alex's eyes. Each pair of eyes seemed to study, measure, and judge every move. Nova hovered discreetly in Alex's field of vision, projecting subtle cues and reminders. Remember micro-expressions. Maintain eye contact without appearing rigid. Mirror Lyra's gestures subtly. Alex nodded, taking a deep breath. The first interaction came quickly. A delegation of blue-skinned, six-limbed beings approached, their long fingers drumming on the floor in rhythmic gestures. One of them spoke in a melodic tone, and Nova translated instantly. "Greetings. We have heard much about your company. You and your partner represent innovation and excellence." Alex glanced at Lyra, who offered a polite smile. They mirrored it, careful to match her posture and tone. "We are honored to attend. Our work reflects a team effort, and I am proud to support Lyra in her leadership." The delegates paused, seemingly evaluating the authenticity of Alex's words and demeanor. Alex held their breath for a moment, then the delegates' glowing eyes softened, a subtle sign of approval. Nova chimed quietly, human improvisation detected. Credibility level increased by 12%. Relieved, Alex continued to mirror Lyra's movements as they moved through the crowd. Each interaction brought new challenges. Some delegates gestured with limbs Alex had never seen before. Some communicated telepathically, requiring Alex to focus intensely on Lyra's subtle cues. Every moment demanded attention, observation, and fast thinking. By mid-morning, Alex felt the mental exhaustion setting in. Their muscles ached from standing and maintaining posture. Their mind raced to track every gesture, phrase, and reaction. Yet beneath the fatigue, a growing confidence stirred. They had trained for this, and human adaptability was proving to be a powerful tool. "Excellent," Lyra whispered during a brief pause. "You're handling this better than I expected. Keep observing, but don't overthink." Alex nodded, grateful for the encouragement. Despite the charade, they sensed genuine respect from Lyra, a subtle acknowledgement that their intelligence and effort were valued. The first major challenge arrived during a high-profile networking session. A group of corporate rivals had arranged a subtle test, a question designed to expose inconsistencies or discomfort in their relationship. One of the rival executives, a sleek humanoid with chrome skin, approached Lyra and Alex. "Ah, Kessler," the rival said smoothly. "And this must be your associate. How long have you two been together?" Alex's heart skipped a beat. They had rehearsed scenarios like this in simulation, but the tension of real observation was far greater. Lyra glanced at them, her eyes sharp but encouraging. "We've been collaborating closely for some time," Alex said, choosing neutral but confident wording. "Our professional and personal interactions are designed to support each other, especially in high-stakes environments like this summit." The rival's chrome skin shimmered as they assessed Alex's response. There was a pause, a subtle moment of scrutiny. Alex's breath caught. Then the rival smiled, nodding slightly. "Interesting. Very well. Your coordination appears genuine." Alex exhaled silently. One small victory, but crucial for maintaining the charade. The rest of the morning passed in a blur of greetings, presentations, and carefully orchestrated interactions. Each moment reinforced a growing understanding in Alex. Humans could adapt, improvise, and even improvise under pressure in ways that no AI or alien protocol could predict. Their ability to read subtle social cues, anticipate reactions, and respond authentically was a uniquely human advantage. During a short break, Alex and Lyra stepped aside into a quiet corridor. The hum of the station surrounded them, offering a momentary reprieve from the bustling summit. "You're doing well," Lyra said, her voice low but sincere. "I didn't expect you to adapt this quickly." Alex flushed slightly, a mix of pride and relief. "Thanks. It's intense, but I think I understand now. Humans really do have a way of handling unpredictability." Lyra nodded. "Exactly. That's why I chose you. Not just for skill, but for intuition, creativity, and courage. You see what others can't." Alex felt a strange warmth, a sense of accomplishment mixed with a growing bond, not romantic but rooted in trust and respect. "I won't let you down," they said firmly. Lyra's eyes softened. "I know you won't, but remember, the real challenge is coming. Some observers are trained to detect deception, and not all will be friendly." Alex swallowed hard. They had trained, adapted, and practiced, but now they were entering the most unpredictable stage: scrutiny from unknown alien minds, each with its own logic and customs. The afternoon session began with the formal presentations. Lyra took the stage, with Alex at her side. The crowd was vast, a sea of glowing eyes and intricate forms. Lyra spoke with precision, outlining her company's innovations and interstellar projects. Alex mirrored her stance, subtle smiles and attentive gestures reinforcing the partnership image. But halfway through, a disruption occurred. One alien delegate, crystalline and towering, approached with deliberate intent. Its gaze locked onto Alex, scanning, analyzing. Alex felt an unfamiliar tension. This was no simple greeting. The delegate's translation device activated. "Your partnership, is it authentic, or a construct for advantage?" The delegate's voice echoed, translated instantly by Nova. Alex froze for a split second, their mind racing. This was the moment simulations could never fully replicate. Lyra gave a slight nod, a silent cue to remain composed. Alex inhaled, forcing calm. "Our partnership is genuine in its purpose," they said carefully, choosing words that reflected respect, support, and confidence. "In environments like these, humans rely on cooperation, adaptability, and understanding. We embody those principles together." The delegate paused, its crystalline form reflecting the ambient lights. Then slowly it nodded. The tension dissipated and the crowd moved on. Nova's voice buzzed quietly. Human problem-solving and adaptability neutralized potential exposure. Credibility sustained. Alex exhaled, the relief almost overwhelming. They had passed the first real test under scrutiny, and human ingenuity had won the moment. By the evening, the first day of the summit ended with accolades and acknowledgement from several delegations. Alex's confidence grew. They had not only survived the challenge, but they had begun to understand the power of observation, quick thinking, and human adaptability. Walking back to their quarters, Alex reflected on the day. Pretending to be someone's partner was difficult, but it had forced them to expand their skills, notice subtleties, and trust in themselves. And somehow, the respect from Lyra made the ordeal meaningful. As the station lights dimmed, Alex allowed themselves a moment of quiet pride. The galactic summit was far from over, and tomorrow would bring even greater challenges. But for the first time, Alex felt ready. Humans had a unique power, the ability to adapt, improvise, and shine in unpredictable circumstances. And today, they had proven it. Somewhere in the station, Lyra's reflection in the glass walls seemed almost alive. Alex smiled faintly, thinking, "We can do this. We always find a way." The second day of the galactic summit dawned with a sense of tension thicker than the station's recycled air. Alex awoke feeling the weight of expectation. Yesterday had been intense, but today promised even greater challenges. Rival corporations had already been watching them, and some alien delegates had subtle ways of detecting falsehoods. One small mistake could unravel the entire carefully constructed charade. Alex arrived at the summit hall early, hoping to get a moment of calm before the rush. Lyra was already there, reviewing notes and adjusting her appearance with effortless precision. Her eyes met Alex's, and she gave a brief nod, a gesture that somehow carried both reassurance and challenge. "Good morning," Lyra said softly. "Today will test more than observation. You'll need intuition and courage." Alex nodded, feeling the familiar surge of nerves. "I'm ready," they said, though their voice trembled slightly. Nova hovered nearby, scanning the surroundings. Probability of exposure during high scrutiny sessions, 38%. suggest heightened attention and rapid adaptive response. The first challenge arrived sooner than expected. A delegation of shadowy, semi-transparent beings approached, their forms flickering slightly as if reality struggled to hold them in place. They were notorious for detecting deception in body language and micro-expressions. "Greetings, Kessler and partner," one of them said, voice echoing unnaturally. "We are curious. Do your expressions reflect genuine emotion or manufactured responses?" Alex froze for a moment. The simulations had trained them for gestures, tone, and timing, but a direct challenge to authenticity in front of dozens of alien observers was far more intimidating. Lyra's gaze was calm, but sharp. She subtly adjusted her posture, a silent signal for Alex to maintain composure. Taking a deep breath, Alex focused. They remembered Rena's words: humans improvise, adapt, and thrive under pressure. They smiled lightly, letting it reach their eyes. "Our responses are genuine in their intent," Alex said carefully. "In environments like this, humans rely on cooperation, attention, and empathy. Our interactions are based on those principles." The delegation paused, their forms flickering faster as they analyzed Alex's microexpressions. Alex held their stance, keeping their tone steady, their gestures subtle but natural. The tension in the hall was palpable. After a long, suspenseful moment, the delegation nodded slowly. "Your credibility is acknowledged for now." Their forms shimmered and retreated, leaving Alex breathing heavily. Nova's voice buzzed softly. Human improvisation successfully neutralized high-level scrutiny. Credibility level sustained at 81%. Alex exhaled, feeling a mixture of relief and triumph. One victory, but the day was far from over. By mid-morning, rumors of corporate sabotage reached the summit floor. A rival company had deployed small reconnaissance drones to observe Kessler Dynamics interactions, hoping to detect inconsistencies or mistakes. Nova detected several drones approaching the perimeter. "Alex," Lyra said quietly, "we need to handle this discreetly. The last thing we need is panic or exposure." Alex's mind raced. The drones were fast, and any misstep could alert the observers and ruin the partnership illusion. They glanced at Lyra, who gave a subtle nod. This was a test of human ingenuity, adaptability, and calm under pressure. Thinking quickly, Alex activated a small electromagnetic pulse device from their belt, carefully calibrated to disable the drones without alerting anyone. The drones blinked and drifted out of control, silently falling into containment nets hidden beneath the summit floor. Lyra raised an eyebrow, impressed but not surprised. "I see human improvisation isn't limited to social cues," she murmured. Alex smiled faintly, adrenaline surging. "We do what we must to adapt." The rest of the morning involved delicate interactions with alien delegations. Alex learned to anticipate subtle challenges, from a sudden change in conversational topic to unexpected gestures from diplomats. Each time, their training, intuition, and ability to improvise kept them ahead. However, the most difficult test came during a private negotiation session. Lyra and Alex were summoned to a side room with a high-ranking delegate known for their ability to detect deceit. The room was circular, with soft, glowing walls and minimal furnishings. The delegates' eyes glimmered as they studied the pair, voice smooth and neutral. "Your partnership," the delegate said, "is it strategic or does it reflect true personal connection?" Alex felt their heart thump painfully. This was the kind of scrutiny simulations couldn't fully replicate. Lyra's hand brushed theirs briefly, a subtle gesture of trust and encouragement. Alex straightened, meeting the delegate's gaze. "Our partnership is genuine in its purpose," Alex said firmly, carefully choosing words that conveyed respect, attentiveness, and cooperation. "We are aligned in our goals and intentions. In high-stakes environments, humans rely on adaptability, intuition, and collaboration. We embody those qualities." The delegate tilted their head, analyzing every microexpression, every pause, every subtle gesture. Alex held their ground, relying on intuition, observation, and the human ability to improvise. After a long, tense moment, the delegate nodded slowly. Acknowledged, credibility remains intact. Your responses reflect strategic authenticity. Alex exhaled, tension melting into relief. Nova chimed softly. Human improvisation and problem-solving neutralized scrutiny. Credibility reinforced to 88%. As the day progressed, Alex noticed subtle shifts in Lyra's behavior. The CEO had begun to treat them not just as an assistant or partner for appearances, but as a valuable ally capable of independent thought. It was a small but important acknowledgement of their abilities, and Alex felt a quiet pride. Yet the summit was not without danger. A rival executive attempted to subtly undermine Alex by asking leading questions during a networking event. "How do you manage the stress of such close collaboration with your CEO?" they asked, a faint smirk on their face. Alex froze for a brief second, then recalled the simulations, Lyra's cues, and the lessons of human adaptability. "Through focus, observation, and understanding," Alex replied smoothly. "Partnership requires attention to detail and trust. Humans excel at adjusting to unpredictable circumstances, and that ability allows us to succeed even under pressure." The rival's smirk faltered slightly, and several nearby delegates looked impressed. Nova whispered quietly, "Human improvisation detected. Reputation and credibility increased." By evening, the summit hall buzzed with conversations, deals, and networking. Alex felt the exhaustion creeping in, but beneath it was a quiet satisfaction. They had faced scrutiny, rival schemes, and challenging social interactions, and had emerged intact. Human adaptability had won the day. As they returned to their quarters, Alex reflected on the lessons of the day. Pretending to be someone's partner was no longer just an act. It had become a test of observation, intuition, creativity, and courage. Each challenge reinforced the unique strengths humans possessed, and Alex began to understand that these traits were invaluable, not only in the summit but in life itself. In the quiet of the station, Alex allowed themselves a moment of thought. They had faced scrutiny, challenges, and subtle threats of exposure, and yet they had adapted, improvised, and succeeded. They were learning not just to survive, but to thrive under conditions no simulation could fully prepare them for. Lyra's reflection appeared in the glass wall, watching the city below. Alex thought of the subtle nods, the quiet encouragements, and the moments of trust. The partnership, while still a charade, had developed into something stronger, a mutual respect and understanding that could not be faked. "Tomorrow," Alex whispered to themselves, "we face the final challenges, but whatever happens, we'll find a way." And deep in the shadows of the summit, rival corporations continued to plot, alien observers remained watchful, and the next test of human ingenuity and resilience loomed closer than ever. The final day of the Galactic Summit arrived with a crisp energy that swept through the orbital city. Alex could feel it in the air, the tension, the anticipation, and the weight of expectation. After days of simulations, rehearsals, and careful improvisation, today would be the ultimate test. Every interaction, every gesture, every decision could determine the success of Kessler Dynamics and the credibility of the partnership they had been maintaining. Alex stood in the preparation chamber beside Lyra, observing the hollow screens that displayed the summit floor, delegates, and rival executives. Nova hovered silently, projecting real-time analysis of social cues, credibility levels, and potential risks. "Alex," Lyra said, her voice steady but tinged with gravity, "today is where everything matters. One misstep could undo all we've worked for, but I believe in your skills and, more importantly, in your human adaptability. That is our advantage." Alex nodded, determination hardening their expression. "I won't let you down. I've learned, adapted, and I'm ready." The opening session of the summit began with formal addresses from the highest-ranking delegates. Alex and Lyra walked side by side, maintaining a natural closeness without overplaying it. Every greeting, every gesture, every glance had to feel authentic. The audience's eyes swept over them, measuring, analyzing, judging. Alex felt the familiar surge of nerves, but this time they were tempered with confidence. The first challenge came almost immediately. A rival executive, a tall, sleek humanoid with metallic skin, approached with a smirk. "I must ask," the executive said, voice smooth and calculated, "how do you maintain such a close partnership while navigating the intense pressures of corporate leadership?" Alex took a deep breath, recalling every lesson from simulations, observation, and intuition. "Through trust, attentiveness, and collaboration," they replied confidently. "Humans excel at adapting to unpredictable circumstances, supporting one another while solving problems together. Our partnership reflects those principles." The executive paused, analyzing the subtle cues, the steady gaze, the mirrored gestures, the calm tone. Their smirk faltered slightly. "Interesting, I see. Your coordination appears genuine." Alex exhaled quietly, relief and pride mingling. The first test of the day had been navigated successfully. Nova whispered softly, "Human improvisation and adaptability successfully maintained credibility. Probability of full summit success, 73%. The day progressed with countless interactions, each one more complex than the last. Alex found themselves anticipating not only Lyra's movements and words, but also the unspoken expectations of delegates from distant worlds. One crystalline delegate approached, observing Alex intently. "Your partnership," the delegate's voice echoed melodically, "demonstrates high coordination, yet we detect subtle fluctuations in authenticity. Explain." Alex's heart thumped, but they recalled Lyra's advice. Observe, adapt, respond naturally. With a calm smile, they said, "In dynamic environments like this, humans rely on continuous observation, empathy, and adaptability. Our interactions are guided by understanding, trust, and shared purpose. That is the authenticity you observe." The delegate paused, its multifaceted eyes shimmering, then inclined its head. "Acknowledged." Credibility reinforced. Nova's voice chimed. Human problem-solving neutralized scrutiny. Credibility increased to 82%. By mid-afternoon, a new complication emerged. Rival corporations had attempted a subtle sabotage. One of the summit's holographic panels had been tampered with to display misleading information about Kessler Dynamics projects. If left unchecked, this could damage the company's reputation before the most important session, the final presentation. Alex noticed the anomaly almost immediately. Their cybernetics expertise allowed them to detect subtle inconsistencies in the display. Glancing at Lyra, they whispered, "We have a problem with the holographic presentation. It's been altered." Lyra's eyes narrowed, then softened with trust. "Do what you must, Alex. I trust your judgment." Alex's fingers danced over the portable interface, recalibrating the system, overriding the sabotage, and restoring the correct information within seconds. The display shimmered back to life, flawless and accurate. Delegates watching the room remained unaware of the crisis averted. Nova's analysis buzzed quietly. Human ingenuity successfully countered sabotage. System integrity restored. Probability of final presentation success, 91%. The final presentation began. Lyra took the stage with Alex at her side. The audience was vast, a sea of alien forms, metallic exoskeletons, and crystalline bodies, all observing intently. Lyra's voice projected with clarity, outlining groundbreaking projects in interstellar cybernetics, energy solutions, and human-alien collaborations. Alex mirrored her movements, gestures, and expressions seamlessly. But the real moment of challenge came when Lyra paused mid-sentence and gestured toward a complex holographic display. "Alex," she said, "explain the human contribution that made this breakthrough possible." All eyes turned to Alex. The moment of truth had arrived. Every skill, every lesson, every improvisation they had learned over the past days would now be tested. Alex took a deep breath. The human contribution lies in our ability to adapt, observe, and solve unpredictable problems. While AI and alien protocols provide guidance, humans can innovate in real time, combining creativity, empathy, and reasoning. Our work here represents the strengths of humanity, our resilience and ingenuity, applied to complex interstellar challenges. A murmur ran through the audience. Delegates exchanged glances, impressed by Alex's poise, clarity, and confidence. Even rival executives looked momentarily stunned. Nova whispered softly, "Human ingenuity and presentation skills exceeded expectations. Credibility at maximum." Lyra smiled, a mixture of pride and admiration. "Well said," she said quietly. "That is why humans are indispensable." The rest of the presentation continued flawlessly. Alex and Lyra moved with ease, demonstrating teamwork, coordination, and confidence. The audience responded with visible approval, some delegates nodding, others exchanging positive signals in their unique forms of communication. After the presentation, the summit concluded with a formal recognition ceremony. Awards were given for innovation, collaboration, and leadership. When the announcement came for the top recognition in interstellar corporate cooperation, Kessler Dynamics was called. Lyra stepped forward to accept, but she turned and gestured toward Alex. "And I must acknowledge the incredible contribution of Alex," she said, her voice carrying to the entire hall. "Their ingenuity, adaptability, and courage have been critical to our success. Humans have a unique strength, the ability to observe, improvise, and create solutions in ways no machine or protocol can replicate." Applause filled the hall. Delegates, executives, and rivals alike recognized the human contribution. Alex felt their hearts swell with pride. They had not only survived the summit, but they had excelled, proving the value of humanity in a galaxy dominated by advanced AI and alien civilizations. After the ceremony, Alex and Lyra returned to the quieter corridors of the station. For the first time in days, they allowed themselves a moment of relief. "You were remarkable," Lyra said softly. "I had no doubt in your abilities, but you exceeded even my expectations, not just in skill, but in courage and judgment." Alex smiled, feeling a mixture of exhaustion and triumph. "Thank you, I couldn't have done it without your guidance." Lyra nodded. "It wasn't guidance alone. You adapted, improvised, and led when it mattered. That is what makes humans exceptional." For Alex, the realization settled in fully. Humans had strengths that no AI or alien system could replicate. Intuition, creativity, courage, and adaptability. These qualities allowed them to face unpredictable challenges and succeed. The summit had been more than a test of acting as a partner. It had been a testament to the power of human ingenuity. As the station lights dimmed for the night, Alex gazed out at the stars beyond the orbital city. Ships glimmered like distant fireflies, and the vastness of space stretched endlessly. They had faced scrutiny, rivals, and challenges that seemed impossible, and had emerged victorious. Lyra stood beside them, quiet but supportive. "You've proven more than skill," she said softly. "You've shown what humanity can achieve when it is focused, courageous, and creative. Remember this feeling. Remember that humans can always find a way." Alex nodded, a quiet smile spreading across their face. "I won't forget." And in the vast expanse of space, amid the glow of distant planets and orbiting stations, the triumph of human ingenuity shone brightly. The Galactic Summit would remember not just Kessler Dynamics' innovations, but the remarkable human at Lyra's side, Alex, whose courage, adaptability, and intellect had ensured success against impossible odds. Humans had faced the test. Humans had won. And the galaxy had witnessed it.